let's we can move on to our number three, and I think most of us actually agreed on these top three here. We have Cell and his Copenhagen Canines. Um, Now his team, it's interesting uh, that it's up here. It has a very nice core in Tapu Koko and Zygarde. Unfortunately, the Klefki is his only steel type, but I mean it's not a bad steel type. So, what do you guys think?
Um, hang on a second. uh, for his steel type, I mean, Klefki's a weird one. It's
It's
like,
yeah, having Klefki as your only steel type is kind of hindering to you sometimes because you'll see throughout the season. I think every game he's gonna bring Klefki.
right.
Um, uh,
Well, and that's another thing too. Is if you look, this this is another team that stacked their weakness hard with that ground. I mean, he's got Coco, Klepke, Charakian, Salazzle.
yeah,
It's
yeah. Edgequake for the most part kind of does some work, but he does have some counters. He has Celebi there,
yeah. I mean,
uh,
Vaporeon can take a hit.
Vaporeon for sure, and when it comes to rocks, he has the Xatu. He has Defog on Coco and Klefki. And he has
Mhm.
Spin and Defog on Xatu as well.
Yeah.
Um,
His hazard centers are nice. He has Celebi, Klepke, Charakian. I mean, it's
uh,
not bad.
yeah, I think that's pretty much it there. Um, Vivillon's interesting. He obviously the sleep powder quiver dance set with Hurricane.
I mean, it
Um,
doesn't really do much else.
it doesn't do much else for sure, yeah. But who knows? He might bring it maybe once or twice this season. I don't know how many times he actually will want to bring it. Um,
Yeah.
when he has things like well, you know what? I can see why he drafted it now. Psychic types are kind of hard for him to hit super effectively. So
Right.
um, and obviously Salazzle,
Yeah.
Terrakion, they don't.
He didn't draft a ghost or a dark type that I can see.
He did not draft a Dark type, which I think would have actually been a little bit better for him.
Hmm.
The Vivillon, otherwise, it's a little risky to always have to bring in. Maybe because you'd have to bring him in maybe mid to late game on a free switch in. It would be easier if he
Right.
had like something a like I don't know any tier 5 Dark types at the top of my head, but like maybe like an Umbreon. If he had something like that, that's
As Guzzlord.
a gut. Yeah, hey
Or
Guzzlord.
just the regular Sableye.
I tend to forget that Guzzlord exists
Yeah,
because
I
There's
mean,
also an
I
Absol
don't
in tier 5.
recognize that Mon as like legitimately good in any sense.
it's like
It
a
is hard though.
it's like a slower Hydreigon. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but
So
There's also an Absol in tier 5.
Absol's a
yeah, I
thing
mean,
too. Yeah. So
I guess that's an option.
yeah, but
Sableye would fit his team pretty well.
mhm,
Yeah, I mean,
It's a prankster, right? Without
mhm.
yeah,
what is that?
Murkrow.
Murkrow's a thing.
Murkrow's really good as well.
Murkrow can actually be bulky with a Violet too.
Yeah.
Um,
Parashong as well with the
yeah.
prankster.
Yeah,
Prankster defog.
It was kind of tough to rank this team per se above the rest because Kangaskhan, like Mega Kangaskhan, we've seen Mega Kangaskhan in some leagues, and this is Mega Kangaskhan without Seismic Toss.
right.
Uh, and a lot of the times people will bring that Rocky Helmet and it just screw Mega Kangaskhan over. He'll have to take double the Rocky Helmet hits.
Bold Crobat, because we just went over Crobat. A bold Crobat with Rocky Helmet here just destroys the Mega
Exactly.
Kangaskhan.
Any Pokemon with high HP stat, maybe like
Right.
Alomomola with a Rocky
Yeah.
Helmet, it's gonna
Yeah,
it's really
and
gonna hinder Kangaskhan.
it don't matter what you're running with Kangaskhan, that thing does not
Yeah.
even want to stare base of any like fighting type period.
And no, it needs the seismic toss to be good.
It needs the
And
seismic toss. Otherwise, it does get the power up punch, but at the same time, it has to make contact on your opponent.
Right.
And
Well, the fact that when Gen 7 launched and they nerfed parental bond,
yeah,
that basically nuked his power
yeah, for
and
sure.
made it so if you weren't running STOS, you were just wasting your time.
Basically, Estos is just what makes Kangaskhan Ubers, but because we've seen him in the past and his performance, we did drop him to tier 2. Now who knows if that's going to be a mistake or not? We have him at tier 2, and I still think he's
I don't
very
think so.
kind of
Yeah, I don't
lackluster.
think so.
But
Yeah.
at the same time,
Uh,
Kangaskhan's very bulky, so
yeah. Well, looking at his team, the thing I question is, okay, he has to make a Kangaskhan, but why the Kamala?
the Kamala might be for
Um,
rapid spin, I guess, but
Does it get that?
it gets spin, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But it's also kind of similar to Kangaskhan in the fact that like they both get wish, um, and they're both like bulky slash offensive normal types. So maybe he could have got a different typing that had spin. That could have been more useful.
I mean, yeah,
I don't know. Was Avalog even picked up in this
I don't think so.
I mean that
I
could
mean,
have been
that is another fighting weakness,
that yeah that is. But I mean Avalog has a gigantic.
But
physical
Avalog
side.
is bad as shit on the
Yeah.
physical side, so like that thing take hits for days.
Yeah. Yeah, but what do you think of his cores though? He has Celebi, Vaporeon, Salazzle. I think Celebi and Vaporeon together
that
is
makes
very
sense,
nice.
Yeah,
The Salazzle, it can be very nice offensively. It can also be very annoying with Toxic Stall.
I mean, Open Z as well.
Open Z for sure.
Yeah.
He can Nasty Plot and then Z Sludge Wave. So.
yep.
Terrakion, just a massive threat. I think Terrakion and Zygarde together make a very nice offensive core. And then he has the Coco. He doesn't really have anything to kind of take advantage of.
See,
Electric Surge.
because the Zygarde and the Coco aren't bad, but if he had gone with a different fairy type,
I think
that core would have been so much better.
Yeah, especially for a tier 2. He could have probably grabbed maybe. I feel like Sylveon was taken, like Togekiss was also taken, but I'm not sure what else is in tier 2 that he could have grabbed there.
Mimikyu.
Mimikyu's an option, and that would have helped his fighting weakness.
Yeah.
That would have been a good pickup.
Yeah, for sure. But,
there's really not a whole lot of good fairy types in tier 2, though, to be honest.
Klefki isn't too bad though. The fairy steel typing is always good to have. Obviously,
Right.
Mega Mawile it's different for reasons, but it shares the same typing. Even Magearna.
Yeah.
But who knows? He probably wasn't thinking that the steel typing was too necessary this match because he has the fairy typing in Coco, which Dazzling Gleam isn't as strong as Thunderbolt because of the electric surge. But again, I'm looking at his team. He doesn't have too much to kind of take advantage of electric surge. So
no, not really.
What's interesting is Komala is considered to be asleep a lot, but in electric surge you're not allowed to be asleep. So I don't know how that's supposed to work. But,
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We have anything else to say on his team? Again, his team looks interesting. I'm really curious to see how he plans to use it this season. Maybe just Tapu Koko, Zygarde, and Terrakion spam. With Cellbean, Vaporeon in the back.
Yeah.
I see him bringing those 3, 4 a lot, and then maybe Kangaskhan and Salazzle. I'm really curious to see if he brings Vivillon at all, but we'll see. All right, so that's our number 3, and we move on to our number 2, which is Rousseau, Riss, and his Oklahoma Heatmore. What can we say about his team?
Well, just for starters, Kieran B, Florges, and Mega Aggron.
Oh yeah,
Like, that's pretty solid.
that is a great
And
FDS
you know,
score.
if you look at his Firewater Grass isn't bad either. I mean, he's got Shaman, Blastoise, a Talonflame, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gale Wings got nerfed. That made Talonflame not just known as Skill Bird anymore. But
Well,
I mean,
Talonflame is still very strong offensively, especially with OpenZ.
right.
I don't know too much about regular Blastoise doing some work, but I know he's very bulky. He gets spin.
He's bulky and he can
So
spin
that's spin,
hazards.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you
if,
got the good old Scarf Water Spout.
Oh, the Spark Water Spout. Yeah,
Yeah.
Beat me to it.
forgot about that. But you know, if you had spin on Blastoise, why do you pick up the Sand Slash? Unless you just wanted that ground type.
Well, I think he probably needed a ground type.
Yeah,
And Sandslash can also set rocks too.
that's true. Yeah, Sand Slash is like a poor man's Dawn fan in my opinion, but
Yeah.
I think
He actually has excellent hazards because he has.
Oh yeah, I
He
think
has
he has.
Sandslash, Mega Aggron, and he also has Nesprit can set him, and he
Yeah.
has Scolipede for like
Scolipede,
T
yeah.
spikes and stuff.
All right, who are we talking about?
We're on with Rousseau and Oklahoma Heatmore. So.
All right, I'm pulling up the document right now.
All right, so this is Beatergate, guys. He's also one of the other mods in the SBT, and he's joining us pretty late, but we're almost done here. We're at the number 2 team at the moment.
This is about how it goes usually. They get stuff done, and I join right at the end.
Basically, yeah.
I did the same, Beater. I did the same.
So let's talk about his Psychic, Dark, and Fighting core. I like the Conkeldurr, Zoroark, and Mesprit together.
Yeah, I mean you've got bulk and you've got power and you've got a little bit of speed with Zoroark.
Yeah,
So,
I
exactly.
like the combo of, well, maybe not that much, but Zoroark disguising himself into Conkeldurr.
Because you know he blocks the
Works
Psychic
very
types, right?
well. Blocks the
Also
Psychic
with-
and just maybe not the Fairy, obviously,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
The fairy weakness is there, but
Yeah.
also with that large degree of speed difference, he can actually sneakily outspeed a lot of things. And
Mhm.
he
pick
has
rolls that way.
he has Mega Aggron though. What's a fairy type?
Yeah,
Okay,
basically.
fair point.
I mean,
but-
even choice banded Darmanitan doesn't Oko Aggron, so
no.
fair point.
it's just a very bulky
As a Mega
mod.
Aggron user myself, can confirm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to use it this season, so we'll see.
I
Yeah.
used it last season for a bit. It was pretty fun to use.
Yeah, it doesn't die to any one hit at all.
No,
So-
nothing OKOs it in the metagame unless
Mhm.
you set up.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think you need I'm not gonna spoil anything because I'm facing Mega Aggron this week, so
No,
you
come
know.
on, man.
No, it's okay, it's alright.
Revealing
He's
sets
gonna,
now.
he's gonna leak his sets on the stream right
Yeah,
now.
exactly, yeah.
Well, I'm right
Yeah.
here, so it's all good.
Ma'ams, that's the reason I'm not about to go in depth of Scolipede and how it can be used right now.
Yeah. Pretty much, right? You have to face Witchard week 1.
Got a surprise that the Aqua Tail though.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
So
anyways,
what
like
can
yeah.
you do to Mega Aggron, man?
Have we started talking about the Kieran Black factor yet?
No, we
I
haven't.
think you know, he's not a big deal. He's
I
just
mean,
Kieran
it's
Black.
he's just sitting there and saying, "Hey, I see your threats and I nuke them."
I'm gonna ice Z your threats. Yeah. So he has amazing Z options as well. He has Zoroark, Talonflame, Mesprit can even go Z. He has the Kieran Black.
Scolipede.
So
Yeah.
Shaman can go Z Earth Power if he wants to. Z Seed Flare
Yeah, Shaman has solid
coverage. Yeah,
coverage.
Particularly for this team, because with its only ground type being Sand Slash, it actually allows Kieran Black to not have to run Earth Power every week, or
that's
for
true. Exactly.
one of his mons to run Earthquake.
Actually, a lot of his Pokemon get ground coverage. Scolipede gets Earthquake. Actually,
Yeah.
I
even
mean,
like Aggron gets
Shaman.
Earthquake.
you'd probably prefer to run it on another mon so you can keep 4 slots for Scolipede, but still,
Yeah,
there's such situations where Earthquake Scolipede works.
I could see
Yep.
if Russo wants to run like just a hazard setting Scolipede for the most part for a lot of weeks. He has a
Yeah.
lot of offensive options. He doesn't need to really run Scolipede Swords Dance all the time. Although it's a very nice offensive threat. Like Talonflame can Swords Dance, Zoro can Nasty Plot, um, you know, Kieran Black and obviously Hone Edge if he wants to, or sorry,
He
Hone
has a
Claws.
multitude of spinners, which forces his team or his opponents to have to run a lot of defoggers because
Exactly.
he's actually able to remove hazards without removing his own.
Exactly. So
But he
yeah,
also
it's
has
very
good
nice.
defoggers too. I mean, he
He
has
does.
Forges.
He has
I
the
guess
Forge
Forges is
the fog,
main,
you know.
but
He can defog with Florges, get in with Scolipede for free, get some
Mhm.
toxic spikes up, and then his next thing you know, his opponent has to switch in, potentially pick up toxic poison or standard poison in order to
Yeah.
remove him.
He does have to be wary of rocks though, because he does have a decent rock weakness, especially with his Kieran Black. So
and Talonflame.
yeah,
Well, the big
Talonflame.
thing with the Rock's weakness is that it can also immediately reveal whether Zork is Zork or another Mon.
That's the thing about his team, yeah, is that Talonflame or Zoro comes in, disguises Talonflame, and it only takes 12%, and you know it's Zoroark. So he just has to be wary of that. But yeah. Yeah, I do like Rousseau's team a lot, though. He has a lot of offensive options. I love Conkelder. If he had a stronger ground type, I would just
Yeah, I
be.
think that's just a stronger ground type and maybe an electric type would have been
Electric
nice.
type would have been
But
nice too, but
He should have taken my route and pleaded the chat for a better ground type.
you know what though? He
Yeah.
does have the Shaman to hit water types. So electric types are nice, but Shaman also gets
yeah.
that coverage. And he doesn't really have a flying weakness as far as I can see.
And,
Like
and
if
looking at his draft right now, I just noticed this that he still has 40 points.
Yep.
yeah,
So
exactly.
he could easily upgrade one of those mons down a free
Also,
spot.
looking at the rest of C League, there aren't too many Mons that need an electric type to counter them.
Yeah.
So that lack of electric type isn't really a hard punish thing.
Like, do we have Suicune drafted in C League? I don't think so.
We do, but Shaman can deal with that well enough.
Yeah. Yeah, Shaman deals with it.
Unless it's like Calm Mind. Even then, I mean, it's
Eh,
not
Even a
such
calm,
taken.
Seed
even
Flares
a
are
calm
very
mindset does not
strong.
want a seed flare. God forbid
No.
a Gracium
Yeah.
Z.
Seed Flare is a
No.
very strong move. Yeah.
Who drafted Suicune? I don't think
I
we
think it was
covered that.
Piran. Was it Piran?
I just saw it.
Oh wait,
It was
it might have been the one.
Ganon.
Okay, the one team we haven't
Okay,
covered
so
yet.
you know what?
Spoiler alert.
That's gonna lead us to our number one team now, guys. We've finished with Rousseau. Let's get
I
into.
will say that I did have Russo at ranked number 1, but Ganon's team is pretty solid too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think most people had Ganon ranked at number 1 here, but let's get into it. His Cranborn Crobats and Ganon.
I'm at 5.
Yep.
Where did I have Ganon ranked? I had him at 5, I think. Yeah, but most people ranked him at 1. So
The biggest thing I love about Ganon's team is his speed tiers. He aligned his speed tiers perfectly so that every Pokemon is useful in that speed tier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he has Jolteon to outpace most Mons, Tornadus T to outpace like the very fast Mons, but not like the extraordinarily fast. Garchomp outpaces the 100 base speed mons.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. And
Yeah,
then
and he has Jolteon and Ribombee, which are both pretty
yeah,
fast.
And Mega
Ravombi, I think.
Mawile to scare away Trick Room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
And Mega Mawile and Necrozma is just like,
Necrozma,
yeah.
Necrozma trick rooming into Mega Mawile would be very threatening as well. I mean, he has webs again, right? So even if he
Yep.
wants to go that route,
Yep.
that could be something else.
Yeah, just looking up at his team. It's pretty solid.
Yeah,
I mean,
he has some very offensive threats, and he has some defensive pivots as well.
if there was one mon that I just don't like on this team, it's probably Jolteon. I just have a personal hatred for that mon. I just don't think it's that good.
I'm okay with
I think it
Jolteon.
looks nice on his team, to be honest, because
It does work well for this team.
because for the most
I will
part,
say that.
if he wants to go up against Melodic, he only really has Roserade to kind of take it on. But then again, he has
Yeah.
a Mega Mawile, which breaks any wall
Yeah.
that
Well, and Jolteon is nice here because he has Jolteon and Tornadus T for like
Oh,
a
very
fast
nice.
full
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah.
So Tornadus T is just amazing for his team as well because he if he wants, he could run AV on it and then let Torn T take a hit, you turn out, and then go into something like Suicune, take
Exactly.
another hit, maybe just set up. So
Yep.
The main thing for this team is that I don't think I don't think we're gonna go the whole season seeing Suicune and Necrozma on this team. I
yeah,
think there's gonna be a little bit of an overlap to where he's gonna want one and not the other. So he'll probably exchange. Hold up. Was my
That's a tough one because
I don't know.
they both.
was my Lodic drafted in this?
It was.
Yes.
Oh yes, it was. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Then he'll probably exchange. As crazy as it sounds, he might exchange Necrozma for something like a Reuniclus to set up trick rooms.
Mm-hmm. He could.
I don't think he needs Trick Room, to be honest. I mean, I guess he has the options there.
He has
He
it,
doesn't-
but his
yeah.
team is very fast. I don't think he ever really needs to go that route.
No, I don't think so.
He doesn't need it, but should he get something like Reuniclus, it becomes more of a threat to where, let's say, he builds his team so he knows his last two mons will be Reuniclus and Mega Mawile.
I don't
He
know.
can
I
click
like
Trick Room and switch the game up late game.
Reuniclus is a beast, but I really like Necrozma. Reuniclus. I mean,
yeah.
Prism Armor is just such a fucking amazing ability.
Necrozma has an insane ability, especially
Also,
if you want to run him physically defensive.
Also, with this team, it allows Garchomp to not have to be a rocker every week.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
That's another thing I was gonna get to. But Necrozma doesn't always want to run rocks either, though. So he can pick one or the other, but he does have spikes and T-spikes on Roserade.
Yeah.
He has webs on Ribombee.
He has all the hazards covered. Yeah. I wish this team had a spinner instead of having to rely on defog.
Yeah, exactly.
But spinners come few and far between,
mm-hmm.
So live with it.
I will say, I have drafted Tauros in the past, and it was very hard for me to bring when I had other threats. I had Kieran Black on that same team, but I'm really curious to see how Ganon brings Tauros because it might not even come with the threats that he has. He has Torn, Mega Mawile,
I mean,
Garchomp.
and he it's
a very situational mon.
Yeah,
he has Still Valley. I don't know why he felt like he.
The only times, I've used Tauros once in the past, and I brought it twice. The only times I brought it were countering Kartana, being able to get off a flamethrower and killing it, and something else where Intimidate just was great.
Yeah,
going up against the team.
I ran him twice as well. Once with Assault Vest, and then another Scarfed. The Scarf set actually can help you win late game if you position him right, but I don't know. He has other options for Scarfers really. He has a Garchomp, so.
But yeah, I think if he goes up against something to where having that 110 speed tier and the mon has a quad weakness that can be easily exposed, he might. Kartana is a great example. Mm-hmm. He outspeeds Kartana and can get off a flamethrower that kills pretty much all the time, unless it's an AV or Okaberry set.
Oh, it'll kill every time. It's sheer force flamethrower.
Yeah.
Sheer force flamethrower.
Oh yeah,
And you're forgetting that Cortana has base 31 SPDEV.
Yeah.
That's
That's
like one ahead. That is 1 point higher than Sun Current. Like, fam.
Yeah, not-
I do think the Rapidash is kind of interesting. I think I've only ever seen a hunter use Rapidash, but I don't really see how it fits into this team here.
I think he needed a fire type, and he got a fire type.
That's basically it.
Yep. The Rapidash isn't bad for a tier 5.
It's
Mhm.
just discount Arcanine.
Yeah.
Very discount Arcanine.
It's really not that big of a discount Arcanine, but
It gets
it's still
recovery.
discount.
In terms of what it does,
it gets
it's
coverage.
similar,
That
but
high
not
horsepower?
having intimidate.
It doesn't
It's
have
not
not
the
having
intimidate. It still's got that
Yeah.
flash fire.
It has the flash fire. It has high horsepower. It has like, what else does it have?
Mega Horn.
Mega horn. Yeah, it has some coverage, so you can make it
You
work.
can-
I
with
think,
it.
you
I
can
think that
also-
actually is the extent of its coverage right there.
Yeah. Flare Blitz. Yeah. No. The Sunny
it does
Day
get drill.
Solar
It does
Beam.
get drill run. It does get drill run.
Yeah, but high horsepower is stronger, I think.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Wild charge, and I think it does get poison jab too.
Yeah.
It gets poison jab. Where does
Yeah,
it get the?
I thought it did.
Don't ask.
Where does it get the poison from?
You're asking
It's
questions
hard.
that we don't have answers to.
Poisonous
It's-
Unicorn. There you go.
We've done it.
I mean, what's a poison jab when you're gonna flare blitz that?
We're kind of just
Grass
revealing
typing.
every trick in that Rapidash's tier 5 has to everybody else.
Basically,
I
yeah.
mean, if anyone searched Rapidash on Showdown, they would very quickly.
They're
see
gonna
the same
figure
thing.
it out.
I mean, it's not all the tricks. I've run some
You don't
stupid
have to do
crap,
that
but
much scrolling.
Yeah.
That's true.
What I do like now that I look at it is that well, for one thing, most of his team is grounded, right? Besides the Tornadus, but Tornadus is an amazing switch into a ground type, unless obviously it's a Rhyperior. But Mega
Also,
Mawile,
go Silvally flying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he can go Silvally flying if he wants to. I think
I don't think he will, but
meh. I think he covered his fire weakness kind of well. Like he has Rapidash, like you said, with Flash Fire. He has Suicune and Garchomp, so Mega Mawile is kind of protected in that sense.
well, the main thing is that a lot of his mons can switch into attacks, and
Yeah, and
he doesn't have like Jolteon, Ribombee, and to an extent Tauros are really
Tauros,
the only
yeah.
mons. I mean Rapidash as well, I guess, but they're
Mhm.
really the only mons that don't want to switch into just a general stab attack. Suicune can take it, Garchomp can take it most of the time.
Mhm. Roserade if it's a special hit. Yeah.
Yep. Mega Mawile, I wouldn't recommend it, but it can.
Yeah, you don't want Mega Mawile to take hits. You kind of just want it to
Yeah.
dish out hits.
Yeah, you want it to come in clean when you can, but if you need it to take
It can
like
take
a physical
hits.
attack from
Yeah.
something,
It has
can.
very high defensive stats, but
Necrozma, Torn T can.
oh,
Yeah,
Necrozma
he's got.
can take every hit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that's the reason we have Ganon at number 1. He just has a very strong offensive core, and he has all the bulk that he needs. People have to watch out for Mawile in late game because it's just gonna come in and click play rough. So, with that though, I think that ends our power rankings for C League, guys. We're gonna split up the 3 leagues that we have in SBT into separate videos. This one is obviously gonna be long as it is. I think we've been talking for about like
2 hours.
2 hours now.
Good God.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. If you want to leave a comment or whatever, please be my guest. This is strictly for the coaches that we have in SBT, but if you're watching outside of it, we welcome you. And yeah.